Hello, students. This is the topic of the Paris Peace Conference, and I'm Mr. Lee, your history teacher. And last time we've been talking about the three aims of the PPC, and so we talk about the punishment and reward, and we talk about forming ways to keep peace in the future. And today we're going to talk about this. That is redrawing the map of Europe. Now, this point is put in the last part because they're related to point 1 and also point 2. And we all know that Germany and Austria-Hungary were being punished because they lost the war, and so they have to cede land. So that is the punishment. And also, by reducing the land Germany and Austria had, it is a way to keep peace as well. And as a result, we have a new map of Europe, that is the aim 3. And so when you study and try to learn this topic, do not separate point 1 to 3 because they're interrelated. And if you look at the map here, look at the loser countries. They are Germany, AH, and Russia. Technically, Russia lost the war because she was defeated by Germany, even though she belongs to the Allied side. And last one, also Ottoman Empire, Turkey. And we will understand that these four countries had to give up land that originally belonged to them as a punishment. And as a result, Europe looks very different. So this is the new map of Europe after the big three discussed behind the doors. And we can see that Germany here had lost a lot of land to Poland, for example. And then and Austria lost great amount of land. She became basically a very small country after First World War. And Soviet Union also lost a lot of land. And last one is Turkey. And when you see that, there is the birth of totally 8 new countries in Northern and Eastern Europe. So there are two important points about the new map of Europe, and they are the destruction of 4 empires and the birth of Eastern Europe and Finland. This is a very important development in history because it makes the 4 old empires very upset and angry, and they were very revengeful. And you can imagine they probably do not like the new Eastern Europe neighbor and Finland and also Yugoslavia. And you can see that the Eastern European states will be very happy because they have been demanding for their own country for a very long time. So the situation is Eastern Europe were very happy, but they were very weak. But then the 4 old empires are very revengeful and very resentful, and they don't like the new neighbors. And you can imagine all of the 4 empires, which one do you think are probably the stronger ones? You probably would know because you probably have studied Second World War. It's Germany and also the USSR. They are the people who actually gave land and were also became stronger after the First World War or before the Second World War. So what will happen to Eastern Europe? To know what happened, we have to look at the old map again. The old map shows that there were 3 great empires in Eastern Europe before, the Germans, AH, and Russia. But the PPC had destroyed the 3, and it created new states like this one. And so that's a big problem, is that before the First World War, in Eastern Europe here, there is what we call the balance of power, meaning that the 3 empires there have equal strength, so that they would not start war easily. And that is true. They did not fight any war for almost 100 years, and not until 1914, the First World War, because it is very difficult to challenge each other when they have equal strength. But the Paris Peace Conference had destroyed the balance of power and created new Eastern European states, and they were weak and they were lonely, and this created the problem of a power vacuum, meaning that there is no strong power that balance the power of Germany and also the power of the Soviet Union here. So which means that when the balance of power was lost and there's a power vacuum there, means that Russia and Germany could easily invade Eastern Europe because there's no like Austria-Hungary or a stronger state to stop the two to do that. And that is what exactly happened before the Second World War. And when, if you remember, when Russia and Germany had signed the Nazi-Soviet Russian Pact in 1939, and the two basically took back all the lands that they have gave, they were forced to give up in the PPC. So to draw a conclusion, the first conclusion of PPC impact on the map of Europe is that there is the destruction of four empires and the birth of Eastern Europe. And secondly, it destroyed the balance of power and created a power vacuum. And this brings us to the third point. Because there's no balance of power and there's a power vacuum, this makes Germany and Russia easily starting aggression in the 1930s, which is a cause of the Second World War. And the very last point, finally, something positive, is that it satisfied nationalism in Eastern Europe. Because countries like Poland, Hungary, they have demanded for independence for a very long time, and finally the chance came in 1919, and the big three were, kind enough to let them to have their own independence. So this is perhaps the one really important positive point about redrawing the map of Europe.